Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. I hope that you are all doing well. Happy New Year. I hope that you are all enjoying your new books and that you were able to start the new year off how you wanted to, whether that was slowly or productively. I know that I haven't really done a planner system update since my first video, so today I'm gonna go through the books that I'm using for 2025. Yeah, so this will probably be like a bit of a Techo Kaigi. I don't have everything figured out, and I think if I had sat down to film this video a week ago, I might have been a bit in like panic or just crisis mode, because I don't know, I think my year didn't quite start out the way I thought that it would, and I wasn't as confident in my systems that I had planned. So yeah, I'll briefly mention to you what planners I'm gonna go over, and then I will put like the chapter titles or timestamps in so that if there's a particular book that you're interested in, you can just skip ahead. But yeah, generally speaking, that is kind of like the plan for the video. Hopefully, I anticipate this being a very long video because I have a lot of books. Like, these are not all of them. These are like the 3 main, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the 3 main books that I'm using are these ones, like I said. The bottom is a Sterling ink common planner in the A5 size, and it's the half year, so it's 2 books for 1 year. Then I've got a Hobonichi cousin for functional planning. I have a Hobonichi weeks for hobby journaling. I've got a Traveler's Notebook standard setup for kind of spiritual growth, I guess I would say. And then I also have I also have a line a day journal that I started back in 2022, and I'm going to try to backfill and finish it. And then the last thing is this little A6 Techo from Hobonichi that I'm using as a Commonplace book. I probably won't delve too deeply into any of these. They're a little bit boring, probably. Or I'm not gonna focus on these. I'm just gonna focus on these 3. I think that I'll start with the memory keeping because I'm most confident in my memory keeper. Okay, so this is my 2025 memory keeper, and this is my 2024 memory keeper. The difference is that this one is a B6 and this is an A5. I will briefly talk about the cover really quick because I thought this was really interesting. So these are both Moterm veg tan leather covers in Apricot. So they're actually both the same leather. This one I think has patinaed quite a bit, and that is why there's such a stark color difference. My mom actually got this for me for Christmas, so thank you, Mom. And I absolutely love it. And when I opened it, I was like, is this the same color? Because it looks so different. This one is like very honeyed almost, and this one is very pale, obviously. And I do remember when I got this one, it looked this way, but I just hadn't noticed how much this cover had like patinaed over the year as I was using it. And I do tend to wear like I have hand lotion and cuticle oil quite a bit because it's dry and cold in the winter especially. But yeah, I just thought that that was kind of interesting that there's such a stark difference in the like brand new cover versus the old one. The other thing maybe to note is that even though these are the same planner, there's a different amount of texture on the different like pieces of leather. So this one I feel like you can tell is quite textured on the front, and this one is not. But if I look in the pocket, this little piece of leather doesn't have as much texture, but then this one does have more texture. So I don't know, I just thought that that was kind of interesting to note, and I think you can tell that this is patinaed because of like around this snap closure, you can see kind of like the imprint of it not being quite as patinaed, and then same with this inside part of the book. Like around this edge, you can, where the page kind of protects it, it's a lot more pale. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Moving on to the planners themselves, my B6 2024 did me great. I really enjoyed being in it, and there's still a few things that I want to like finish up in here, but generally speaking, like I really liked my system and there's not too much I want to change. I think that I'll just go through the pages and tell you what I'm planning to use it for. In the goal breakdown, I think I would like to add in my 2025 goals, just so that in the future when I look through this book and I'm looking at what I was up to, I can see my progress maybe of like the goals that I was accomplishing. Or I just think since this is a memory keeper, it would be nice to look back on. I'm gonna use this yearly tracker kind of as a table of contents. So if there are important dates that are happening, or like, I don't know, birthdays, anniversaries, bigger events, I guess, or like if we found out an important piece of news that changes our lives, I can add that in so that I can quickly find what page it is on. I don't really have a good idea for this spread, so maybe you can give me some ideas. I know that on this side of the page for the quarterly breakdowns, I want to try to do like monthly favorites. So maybe food or movies, TV shows, books, songs, that type of a thing. Just like kind of have that be what that is for, I guess. I'm not sure about this top box for priorities is what it says, but maybe I'll do quarterly favorites too. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure about this page, but we will see what I can come up with. In the monthly layout, I think that I'm just going to, I guess I'm not really sure. I had been planning to do the books that I'm reading and kind of print off a picture of the cover and then have like a monthly layout of all the books that I've read. But because I am going to do a hobbies journal, I think that that might be a little bit redundant. So I haven't decided if I just want to do like a month at a glance what was going on, or if I think it would be better to, I don't know, have a double of the book situation. So I know that the month is almost over, the first month of the year, but I'll probably backfill whatever I end up doing in here anyways, so that I can know how much room for stickers and things like that. And then for the main part of my memory keeping, this was the first week in the year. The 1st of January was on a Wednesday. Basically how I use this is that I kind of set it up for the week. For example, this is this week, so I decorate it and then I put what I'm currently reading on the margin, and then I just like kind of write down little bits of what happened throughout the day so that I have a log of the day and everything that happened in it. And then typically, I'll have to show you in the 2024 version. So my verticals kind of always look like this, you know, bullet points, what I'm reading. If I finish a book, I add in the cover. And then in the back of the book, I will use the notebook pages that are in the back. They're undated, and I will date them myself. I don't write every day. Sometimes I skip days or even weeks, but I just write on days that I either have time to, or if something special happened that day. I really enjoy this system because it gives me extra space for, like, if I go on a trip, I can take up as much as many pages as I would like, and it's not a big deal. I think that the biggest danger is that I end up not filling up the entire book, and if that happens, then I can just kind of add in some stuff here and there. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And this year I actually, like, in my part 2 of my half-year journal, I did fill up all of the pages and I only had 1 page left, and I just decided to make that a, like, year in review page. So it really does work out well for me. I really enjoy it. I think it's great. And yeah, that's basically it. Next, I know I need to go quicker about this, but you know. Okay, for functional planning, I'm going to use a Hobonichi cousin. I am kind of struggling. I feel a little bit lost in this book because it's so big, or at least it's so big and it's so compartmentalized. I think it makes it a little difficult, especially when I'm used to the weeks, and the way I planned in the weeks was this was the only spread that I needed to look at, and now I'm moving to, like, there's 3 different pages that I need to be turning to. So I have a few different ideas and issues and all kinds of stuff, so I will try to speak about it briefly, but give you a little bit, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So in the first page, like this year at a glance, I would like to use a Zig Clean Color Dot marker and mark the days that I have headaches, because I tend to get headaches a lot, and I would just like to have that information at a glance. So I think that's what I'm going to track. I might track gym days as well, and I think I have the info to be able to backfill January, and then I'm going to start for real in February. I think a lot of my plans for this planner, the cousin, are going to start in February, if I'm being honest with myself. I think this spread, I can't remember what this layout is called, but I think I'm going to use this for content planning. I would really, really love to be more consistent with posting on YouTube and posting on Instagram. I enjoy that, but I think I get intimidated with it, and I don't know. So I think this could help me plan at least 3 videos that I would want to do, because there's 3 check boxes. Or even, like, I could write down ahead of time, like, oh, quarter 3, I want to post a quarter 3 update, or quarter 1 or whatever, and have that already set so that when I'm planning what videos I want to film, am able to see it basically in one glance. And I feel like even at the bottom, there's quite a lot of space for even Instagram content ideas. So yeah, and then I can write in here when I need to film and edit and stuff like that. So that's my general thought for this layout. For the monthlies, when I started in this planner, I kind of was like, I just need to put pen to paper and start writing. And I kind of regret that, but I kind of don't, because I think it helped me realize that certain things weren't working. So in January, I just started with what was going on. Like I put in meetings and different things like that. I did write it in erasable pen. I have this Friction Pilot erasable pen, and I do really like it. But basically, I think my general thoughts are that I use Google Calendar and my husband uses Google Calendar, and so I can see his work schedule. He doesn't work consistently in an office or from home necessarily, so he kind of like bounces back and forth between being home and not being home. And the most up-to-date information I can get is from our shared Google Calendar. So this planner spread, this monthly view, is never going to be helpful to me in any real sense because I'm always going to reference the Google Calendar. So I don't need this for functional planning. I don't even need it for future planning. So that leaves me with no use for this at first, but I think I've landed on what I want to use it for. And I've kind of already started a little bit backfilling, so I think I want to use this for health planning, or not health planning, I guess, but health tracking, I guess is a better word for it. So I think in the margin, I would like to kind of record maybe what my like current PRs for weights are. So like what is my record bench press and my highest squat and stuff like that for weightlifting, and maybe weight and measurements type of a thing to see how my body changes throughout the year. That would be interesting to see. And I can even like pull it to the side like this and be able to see like January to February's stats. I think that looks or would be really cool. And then the other thing I would like to track with the whole planner layout. Oh, I guess I should also mention in terms of like working out, that type of a thing. I think I have enough space in the boxes because it's an A5 to track my workouts. So I can put like what weight bench or what squat or deadlift or whatever I did in the box, and yeah, I think that would be good. And then the other side of health that I would like to track is like symptoms. So I mentioned that I get headaches, and so I think it would be good to be able to see the headaches and see if there's any correlation to other things maybe going on. So yeah, I think health will be a good use of this. Sorry, I feel like I talked about that way too much, but I'm kind of excited about it because I think it's going to be very useful for me and that I'm going to really appreciate having that data. Anyways, moving on to the vertical weeklies. I didn't use this week for functional planning, so I kind of made myself a, not dream schedule, but just like this is what I thought I wanted my weeks to look like. That was really helpful, and I really, really like doing this. And if I end up skipping any weeks in the future and my daily life changes, then I might do this again because it really helped me to think through what is going to happen in my week. And then on the daily pages, I'm still working it out. This is this week. I am kind of using a checklist and then notes, and I also have like events going on, and then I have a heads up for next week. I tried putting the meals down here, but I didn't really like it. And I've got a to-do list. So I'm still not sure about all of this. I think I keep finding a lot of videos about memory keeping in a cousin and not very many videos about functional planning. So, or if there is, it's just like maybe not the way that is gonna make sense for me. I think that I might try to make myself something like this, which I made this for myself to go in my weeks last year. And it was kind of just like a schedule. So It's a bit goofy, I guess. But basically, on every Monday, I cleaned the bathrooms, I did laundry, and I worked on grading stuff, which is part of my job. And I would use this as like the to-do list check-in that I needed kind of a thing. And then I also would say like do one big task on Wednesdays or whatever day. Like it was Wednesdays and Saturdays were slotted as like a big task day. And that meant like one of my monthly things that I needed to do, like clean out a closet in our house. So this really did help me. This is Jane Austen. And I used a quote from Jane Austen, "I'm half agony, half hope," which is out of context on this thing because it's a reference to when Darcy proposes to Elizabeth for the second time. But I used it as, I hate doing chores, so I'm half agony, but I'm half hopeful that this method is gonna work to keep me up to date on things. So I'm thinking about making something like this for myself that is gonna function almost as like a pencil board if I print it off on like a cardstock. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it would work. I almost feel like the thing that I'm missing is a giant to-do list for the week because I really prefer to write down every little thing I have to do because otherwise I think I lose track of tasks. So I don't know. That is kind of my idea. I don't know if any of that made sense. But I've been kind of keeping this in here as a bookmark, as a reminder that I want to do something like this. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. This is double space, so I could, or like there's a space in between each task. So I guess I could just tighten it up, I guess, and I could fit more things, but I'm not sure. If you have any ideas for me, please let me know. And then we've got the back pages. The back pages are a scary mess to me. I have a lot of blank pages in January because I just didn't know what I was going to use these pages for. I thought that this could be a to-do list, but I don't love the flipping back and forth. Like it feels like I'm forgetting things and that I just end up on one, like I'll end up spending the whole day on this page or I'll end up spending the whole day on this page. And I'll forget things still, so I'm not sure. There's some kind of things are too compartmentalized with this. So basically this week I've started using it as a kind of brain dump place. My memory keeper is definitely more like logging the history of my life, whereas this is more like putting my random thoughts on the page. So I do really like that and it feels easy to do generally. Yeah, so I don't know. I was watching a video from Bronte Plans and I think she uses her cousin for more memory keeping type things. And she said that decorating your pages a week at a time helps you to not feel intimidated by the pages. And I agreed with that. So that's what I'm trying out for this week. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with these back pages. So I'm crying out for help, I guess. Like, if you have any tips, please let me know, because I just am feeling a bit overwhelmed by these back pages. I think that this really does work for me, but I'm almost wondering if I should have just gotten a Sterling Ink horizontal layout A5 planner, or maybe even a B6, but because that layout has the same layout as the weeks where it's like boxes, and I probably could have put my to-do list if it was the whole size of this thing, but I don't know. I'm just not sure. But I think I'm hopeful that this new layout that I've done for 2 weeks now is gonna work, so we will see. I'll keep you updated on it. And then I guess I can mention real quick too that before I bought this, I did try it out in a Midori notebook. I set the first few pages up as kind of an experiment. So I made, to the best of my ability, like I followed pictures online to make myself a Hobonichi layout. I don't think I did too bad. I hated setting it up, and I will never do bullet journaling because it's so horrible. I literally had blisters from trying to set this up. But I just tried to figure out how I was going to use the Hobonichi cousin, and I think that it was good. And in fact, I had like a track and a priorities and stuff like that, but I did get a few things wrong. Like this border was too big. So I don't know. It didn't work exactly how I thought it would. And I had this daily pages in the back and they were kind of working for me, but I did try to sample it and I felt like I didn't quite have it yet, but I thought that I would be able to figure it out if I got one, and I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out. So I'm still working on it. I'm gonna order some stickers, I think, for the cover, and maybe that will help me feel more at home in it as well. But yeah, that's basically the overview of my functional planning system. And then we've got my hobbies planner. I love this planner. I love a week's. I feel like I always want there to be a week's in my system. And since I didn't think that it would work for me functionally or for memory keeping, I decided to try out a hobbies planner. I thought it kind of sounded excessive at first, like maybe it would be redundant for what my memory keeper tracks essentially, but I've only been using it for a week and I already really, really love it. So I'll just go through it page by page and tell you what I'm planning to use everything for. On this first page for the year at a glance, there's an important dates section, and I think I might use it for special dates within my hobbies, like if there's any, like when Hobonichi starts their reveals or whatever it's called, or if there's any pen shows in my area, or if a video game gets released or a book that I'm anticipating, that type of a thing could go down here. I thought habit tracking could be fun, or like hobby related habits. So like maybe if I know people use the word engaged in a hobby, but like that always sounds like a weird way to word it to me. But I don't know why I think it's weird. Basically I could have some color coded markers again in like the Zig dot ones, and I could do like Peach is crocheting, and if I crocheted on a day then I could track it, or reading or video games or planner. But then I think I might end up with too many colors on the same day and that wouldn't really work. So it's probably just going to be for dates that I might want to keep track of. On this spread I was thinking about using this for project tracking. Like if I start a crochet project, I could put the start date and then kind of have a line for however long it takes me to finish it. But then I came up with a different idea, which maybe is a little bit niche, but I think that it could be fun. So my idea is to actually track my nail polish usage. So I really enjoy like doing my nails, I guess, and I do them myself, and I don't use like gel or anything like that. It's just normal nail polish. So my thought was that I could maybe swatch the, like when I do my nails, I could put the color of nail polish, like I could paint a little swatch of it, and then that would both like show me how long my nail polish is lasting, how long, or like what my favorite colors have been, how often I have to do, I don't know. Maybe that is weird. I did do a tester in this little This is a passport size common planner, and it was like a complete fail from last year. But I swatched these little bits just to see what it would be like, and I think that it would work. Like, it didn't bleed through at all. It held the nail polish really well. I know the paper will be slightly different, but I thought that this would be a good enough test to see. I might swatch it in the back of the book somewhere if I do decide to do this, and I think I will. I feel like I'm pretty set that that's what I want to do. And then I think maybe I could do my favorite nail polish color of the month, or if I bought a new nail polish, I could track that. So yeah. I think this might be my nail polish spread, and I'm really excited for it actually. I think that that will be really fun. So yeah, in my monthly layout, I am planning, LOL, to do a book tracker. I have an app called, I think it's called Bookmarie, and it gives me the monthly layout of the books I've read, and it puts like a cover on it. When I, like, where I finish the book, the cover will appear on the monthly layout, and I really enjoy looking at that. So I think that's what I'm going to use this for. I'm kind of excited for it. I might even, like, underneath the book, I might put the page that the review is going to be on. So that's my idea for the monthly layout. And then for the weekly layouts, oh yeah, I also got this, I don't remember the artist's name, but this pencil board for the weeks, and it's so freaking cute. I absolutely love it with the gingham cover. Yeah, so this is last week, which I haven't done anything for this week yet. It's only Tuesday, but yeah, so my thoughts so far are that I'll just keep a log of my hobbies and what I'm doing. So I started a crochet project, and I put the inspo photo, like I got this from Pinterest, and I wrote about like what the project is and what I'm hoping to do and things like that. And I used a little yarn sticker from Kitschy Kawaii. And then on this side of the page, on the days, I kind of just like made a note of what I was doing hobby-wise. So I noted that I made it to chapter 10 in an audiobook, and that I made some granny squares, and that I ordered some TN inserts. So I also tracked or like noted hobby-related purchases. And then I also noted like a video game I was playing, and I made like a note about one of the books I was reading that I wasn't really liking it and why. So yeah, I really like that. I put down what pens I was using as well, which was fun. I was thinking that if I get more ink, I have two fountain pens. They're both Kaweco Sports. This one is in fine, and it has the blue ink. It came with the blue ink, so I'm kind of trying to use that up. But I think that it'd be fun for this to be a fountain pen book. Although that being said, I've definitely had some like bleed through on some of the pages, and it's not just ghosting, like there is some bleed through. So I'm not really sure about that. Maybe the Kawecos are just extra juicy or something, I don't really know. But yeah, that is the plan. I'm really liking it. And I think it feels like very low stakes and really easy to keep up because it's so small. So this has been great. I think that this will serve me well. And then in the back pages, I've been thinking about what I would want to do. So some of my ideas are like a project list or an unfinished project list, so that I could track, like, I don't know, I have like an unfinished quilt that I started last year, or no, maybe even the year before. So like I could put like quilt and then the year that I started it, so that I could see, I don't know, it might just keep fresh the projects that I have to finish, and maybe that would help me to actually finish them. because a lot of it is like an out of sight, out of mind situation. So that's one idea. I think maybe putting my book reviews back here would be good. I had thought about just putting the book reviews like on this side of the page from this, but I think maybe if I am doing like a crochet project, like for example, on this week, I don't think I would have had room to write a book review with this information going on. So it might be best to have the book reviews in the back empty note pages. So yeah, book reviews, maybe video game reviews. I don't really play that many video games, but I do play sometimes, so it could be fun to do that for my own like memory. And then the other thing is that I think it could be really fun to have like a book bracket type thing to figure out what my favorite book of the year is. So having like the books I read having to face off to choose my favorite, and then like narrowing it down to just like the last 2 books, if that makes sense. Yeah. And the other thing that I've done in here is that I added on the last page a backfilling to-do list. So for my 5-year journal, which I will talk about briefly next, I had started it in 2022, and there are some months that are empty for certain years, and so I need to go through and backfill everything and just check it off. So I made myself like, this is January through December, and then I put each of the years in a spot to X off. And then I also need to go back into my 2024 memory keeper and backfill my monthly updates. Kind of just like an overview of what happened in the month, but yeah, so I think that this will help me kind of stay organized with that, and I like the way that it looks, I guess. I used these journaling to-do list stickers that are digital printables from Untitled Paintings, and then these little stickers are stickers that I made for myself. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. I think in the favorites section, I'm going to pick a favorite every month and write it down. And then maybe on the last 2, I'll do like favorites of the year. Maybe that's where I'll put my favorite book or something like that. And then for my top 100, I'm going to use it to track my reading in my books. And last year, I need to add this to my backfill because I haven't finished filling it out, but I used the My 100 for books. I did read 50 books, but I don't have it all the way filled out yet, so I have a lot to fill in. But I used the Zig dot markers to denote if it was an audiobook, a physical book, or a Kindle book. And I put that in, and I really liked that. I thought that was helpful. So yeah, that is my plan. Oh yeah, and then the last thing to talk about is this little memory keeper. I really wanted to start a new memory keeper this year because I really thought it would be great to have 2025 through 2030. Anyways, this was given to me as a Christmas gift in 2022, so I have like several of it, I don't know, several pages are completely blank, and like I said, I need to go back and backfill this, but I really do miss being able to see what was happening a few years ago, so I'm gonna do that. The only other thing that I might note is that I did order directly from Hobonichi, so I got these 2 little bonus items. I really like this Uni Jetstream. It is very comfortable and smooth to write with. The only thing I don't like is these colors of ink. I just don't really have a need for blue or red, and I don't really like those 3, like black, blue, and red together. It just feels a little bit unaesthetic to me. Yeah, but I like using this, and even though it is a little bit McDonald's colors, I've been using this in my Hobonichi. And then I got this cute little notebook. I'm really happy with the color option that I got, but I haven't decided what I want to use this for. Once I finish my Commonplace book, Did I say that this was Commonplace? I'm using this little A6 Techo as a Commonplace book. I haven't done too much with it yet, but yeah. I got this on clearance, so it was really inexpensive because it's a 2024, but I wanted to know what this planner was like and if it had a spot in my system, but it kind of doesn't, but I do really like the size, so I'm just using it as a Commonplace book. But I thought maybe because this is an A6 that I could use it as a Commonplace book. So once I finish this one, I might move into this one, but then I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might also just get an A6 Midori once this is done. So yeah, that is the entirety of my planner system for 2025. That's the big update. I hope that it was coherent and that it made sense. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on how to use a cousin for functional planning. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. And yeah, how are your planners going this year? Has your year started the way you thought it would? Let me know. Okay, I will talk to you later. I hope you have a great week and enjoy your planners. Bye.